Hello friends, I'm Johnny Bartelle.
And I am Theresa Bartelle.
Are you a loud budgeter?
Today we will be discussing loud budgeting. Stay for the entire show so that you will be able to determine if loud budgeting is for you. Based on my research, what I found is social media seems to be shouting about their strict budget, sharing every penny they save and every dollar that they spend. This is what they are calling loud budgeting.
So, in other words, you got to shout to the mountaintop for everybody to know your personal business.
Right. Do you think this is the best way for you to manage your money by loud budgeting? Really?
What do you think about that?
I honestly don't think we're obligated to share our finances with our friends, family, cousins. It's your finance. That first word says personal finance. It does not say
public.
Thank you. So today we are going to be discussing loud budgeting. And so if you enjoyed this first part, I recommend that you stay on so that you will understand exactly how loud budgeting can affect your life and your future.
Yeah, you're right. So to get it out there, budgeting is about making a conscious choice, right? So when we set up our budget, we're making a conscious decision to manage our finances in a way that we have permission to spend, right? So if we have permission to spend, if we're managing our finances, why would we need to tell anybody that?
Well, personally, I don't think you do need to tell anybody that. And also, in our research, what we've learned about loud budgeting is it puts stress on you. It makes you compare yourself to others. And when you start feeling this extra pressure of comparing yourself to others or feeling anxiety, I don't think that's something that's good for you. And because of the loud budgeting, if you have a friend or a coworker that may be inviting you to go to a function or go to a show, but personally, it's not within your budget. And you're saying, no, I'm not going to be able to go to see the show or the concert because I only have $200 left in my budget for entertainment. Do you know how uncomfortable that is to be able to share with somebody your exact dollar amount and then explain why you can or cannot do anything?
Yeah. And
then it's going to make yourself compare yourself to others. So let's just say you're my coworker. You're my manager. I'm your worker. And your salary is much higher than mine. And we're loud budgeting. That's going to cause anxiety. It's going to be uncomfortable. And then I'm going to compare myself to you because I'm going to feel like I need to be at your level.
Right.
In which will encourage me to spend more money because I'm trying to be at your level. So in this situation, do you really think loud budgeting is healthy?
Well, that's a good question because first of all, what you just kind of stated was comparison for one, and the next thing is that you're trying to seem like to impress somebody, or you may not be trying to impress nobody, but how it will come across, especially if you're making more than somebody who you are sharing it with, they might feel like you're trying to really impress them or, kind of make them really feel uncomfortable with your discussing your personal financial picture with them, right? So that was good. So in my point of view, it doesn't seem healthy.
And it's not. And because something else that comes up in loud budgeting. So if you are a loud budgeter, or if you're thinking about becoming a loud budgeter, and I'm telling you, you really should believe and hear what I'm saying. Loud budgeting causes jealousy. Okay?
Yeah.
You might have a close girlfriend, a close guy friend, and you don't know if they're already comparing themselves to you when you're not even loud budgeting yet.
Yeah.
Okay, once you start loud budgeting and your friend or whoever family member sees how much money you're making, they really internally may get jealous. I mean, that just is a human nature to sometimes have a spirit of jealousy when you see someone else doing more or making more than you.
Yes.
Your job may be of a higher quality than their job in your mind, but your friend may be doing a job where they don't even have a degree, but they're making more money than you. Now, can you see how that would cause jealousy? And in a lot of cases, sometimes females really have issues with being jealous of other females. And if you're going to the mall shopping, if she can't afford it and she's already shared with you how much money she has to spend, like, it can cause friction within a relationship. So if you're considering loud budgeting, you need to look at the entire picture. Don't look at you're just sharing your income with somebody. It's more than that.
Yes.
It can cause friction in a relationship. It can make you feel uncomfortable with each other. And it's just like not a healthy thing to do. And I don't want to feel jealous of anyone. I don't want anyone to feel jealous of me. I personally want to leave finances the way that it says, personal and not loud.
Yeah, and then to add to that, we're not saying that you shouldn't have a responsibility partner to help support your efforts.
Right.
So we're not saying that.
Mm-hmm.
But what we are saying is, do you have to tell the whole world? Because when you are sharing your personal business with the whole world, it's no longer personal.
Right.
It's public.
Right.
So when it becomes public, that means everybody gonna know.
Right.
Everybody gonna know.
Yep.
What's going on with your personal finances, right?
Right. And then if you make more money than I make and we're friends and I'm loud budgeting and telling you everything I make, it's going to make you feel guilty because you're making more money than me and I can't do what you can do because you're making more money than me. So already loud budgeting, it causes jealousy. It causes people to feel guilty.
Mm-hmm.
It can cause discouragement because your friend may be making more money than you. Mm-hmm. And I don't care what nobody says. It can cause friction within a relationship. So
strife.
Yeah, and strife. Mm-hmm. So is social media and this loud budgeting, is it really designed to help you or is it designed to hurt you? And really and truly, maybe you should look up and research the person who even came up with this term. Are they the type of person who want to tell all their business or are they the type of person who want to know all your business?
That's an interesting question.
Right.
It is.
Yeah, so before you jump on all these social media trends, we want you to be financially free.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure whatever trend you jump on is a trend that's going to add to you, not a trend that's going to take away from you. And if you're loud budgeting, that is not helping you. It's not adding to you.
Yeah.
It's taking away your right to have privacy. Remember that.
Yes. And then also, one of the things I have here is that your budgeting is a way, it's supposed to be used as a tool, right?
Right.
A budget is supposed to be used as a tool to help you achieve whatever roadmap, a road you're on to make it to your goal, right? So when you start just loud budgeting, then it's almost like it becomes a contest. Mm-hmm. And that's not what it's meant to be. It should never be a contest on who can save the most or who can save the most the fastest, right? It should never become that. It's supposed to be an enjoyable experience getting to your goal. Because as you get to each step to get to your goal, it should be something that you celebrate, right? But you don't have to publicly celebrate it. Right.
And what I want to add on to what you said about a budget is designed for you. Your budget is designed to help you prioritize your spending. Your budget is not for you to compete with your friend. Your budget is not meant for your friend to tell you how you should budget your dollars. It's your money. If you're loud budgeting, you should only be loud budgeting, in our opinion, with your spouse. I need a loud budget with you because you're my spouse. Right. We are one. Whatever we have is for us.
Yes.
You do not owe anyone an explanation with this loud budgeting. Mm-mm. When you have a budget, you have your own personal financial goals. Mm-hmm. You have a right to set your goals for your money. So if you're loud budgeting, right, you've already set aside money to go on a trip that you want to go on with your family. You're telling your friend, oh, I already have $600 on my line budgeted for my vacation. Here come your jealous friend. Well, you still have 6 months to go. Why don't we still go to the mall and shop? And then you can just add money back onto that line so that you can save for your vacation later. That's why I'm just not seeing and understanding yet how loud budgeting can be healthy. So if you're still here with us on the show, I'm pretty much sure you can tell that we are not in support of loud budgeting, because we don't want to do or advise you to do anything that's going to hurt you in the long run. Yeah. We are not people that look at now. We're looking at the long haul. And so if social media now is on this trend for loud budgeting, okay, so what's going to be next? Are you going to have to show your friends your actual pay stub so that they'll know exactly how much you're making? Or are you going to have to show them your bank account and show them your balance? So what's next?
Yeah,
right.
True.
Is it going to stop at loud budgeting? Or is it going to go even farther than that?
That's a powerful statement, because you're right. If you allow budgeting, what's next? Because you know it's a next. It's always a next.
Right.
So what's next? Would it be showing your bank statement?
Right.
Would it be showing your pay stub?
Yeah. So if somebody get on social media and say, "Oh, loud budgeting," we're taking it a step further. Now, for you to be accountable, you have to actually show your friends your pay stub. And guess what? If you're loud budgeting, how do you know that the person who is loud budgeting with you is actually being honest? You have to believe what they're saying. What if they're not even telling you the truth and you're trying to compete with somebody who didn't even tell you the truth?
Yeah, that's true.
That's why personal finances should be what?
Personal.
Right. Like if you got a friend, why do y'all need to compare y'all paychecks? I'm like this. If you can't afford to go to the concert, just say no. You don't have to tell me why. Just say, I can't do it this time. Maybe next time.
Yes.
But in order to make you feel better about yourself, you feel like you have to justify why you got to say no. Sister or brother, let me tell you. If you are in a circle of friends to where you feel like you got to justify yourself, you feel like you got to get on this loud budgeting trend, you need to relook your circle.
Yeah, because the key thing here is that your yes be yes and your no be no.
Right.
It doesn't have to be in between to say, oh, well, let me explain to you why I can't go. Because, honestly, if we go back to the very same thing at the beginning, it's personal finances.
Right.
Personal.
It's personal. And so, one of my favorite things is budgeting. I love to budget.
Yes.
We've done, a video on budgeting. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden we heard about this loud budgeting. And really, with our age, we're like, well, what is loud budgeting?
That's what we said.
Yeah. Let us look this up.
Yeah. I thought it was when you said loud, I was supposed to be talking loud or something.
Yeah. So we're like, well, what is loud budgeting? Mm-hmm. And when I looked it up to say that you share it with your friends or whoever you want to share it with, every single penny, every dollar, that you're sharing everything about your budget with your friend. I'm like, we have got to provide some content and some education to our friends about loud budgeting. And what I've learned at the golden ripe age that I am is that just because it's out there and just because it might feel good and it might look good, that don't mean it's good for me. So with loud budgeting, we recommend that you don't loud budget, that you have some transparency, which for me is yes or either no. But just remember, you don't have to justify why you are not or why you are doing something. And then if you do have a friend that wants to loud budget, that's okay. Let them loud budget.
Yeah.
But just realize they may not even be telling you the truth.
It may not.
How do you know they're telling you the truth?
May not be telling you the truth.
Right. And
It's
sometimes, depending on what type of friends and what type of circle you have, they may be exaggerating their loud budget just to make you feel uncomfortable, just to make you feel jealous, or just to make themselves feel like they are better than you.
And you're right. And if you must tell somebody, like I said earlier, we both agree that have a person that you can have a responsibility partner, right?
Right.
Somebody that you can share stuff with without publicly confessing all of your monies to everybody, right? Because some of us do need accountability partners,
right,
that keep us on track and to keep us in line,
mm-hmm,
and also to make sure that we don't sway right or left. So we need those accountability partners, or either accountability partner, right? But we don't need everybody, even people we have no clue that we really don't know, to know about our personal financial line all the way down to your
car expenses, your mortgage, your rent, your car payment,
yes,
your pay dates.
yes.
No. Just
Yes.
remember, honestly, if you're not married, you really don't owe anyone an explanation if you're an adult paying your own bills as to what you're doing with your money. So I'm not sure if the people who are loud budgeting, if the only way they can feel comfortable at saying no is if they let you know how much money they got. And I'm telling you, in 2024, even before, well, the Bible said there's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah.
But sometimes people may want to allow budget to lie to get out of doing something that they really don't want to do. So, like, instead of just being honest and saying, no, I don't want to do it, they allow budget, lie budget, and say, I can't do this because I don't have enough money. Yet they do have enough money. They just don't have the power within them to say no.
No.
So can you see what loud budgeting is doing? It's going to create even more liars than we got walking around here now.
Well, and that could be a true statement, what you said, because
it is a true statement, because people have a hard time with no. But what have you always said about no?
it's not a bad word.
Right.
No is not a bad word. You know what? Just because you say no today doesn't mean no tomorrow.
Right.
It just means no right now.
Yeah, you have to be comfortable
Yes.
with saying no. Don't say, oh, I'm a loud budgeter, so you can become a lying budgeter. If you don't want to do something, just say no, I cannot do it at this time. You don't have to say no, I can't do it because I don't have enough money in my account.
I only have $200 in my account, and I can't do it because I got a bill coming due, and it's gonna cost me $150, so I can't do it now.
Right.
What?
Just say no. And I'm telling you, I'm now myself just getting comfortable with saying no, because even though it's a 2-letter word, for some reason, and I don't know if it's because I'm a female or what, but saying no is really a challenge for me sometimes. But I'm learning to say no, because when you say yes with regret, it causes problems for you internally later.
Yeah. And you ain't being cheerful about what you're doing, because inside you really meant no, but out of your mouth you said yes. So when you said yes, you're not really cheerful about what you're doing. And we're supposed to be what? Cheerful at what we're doing.
Be cheerful.
Yes.
So I'm sure you realize that the loud budgeting really just, the trend does not work for us. And we want to give you reasons and that you could consider for yourself as to why you need to reconsider loud budgeting, because it is possible for loud budgeting to really like change your personality, to change who you are. It could change your self-worth because you're putting everything out there for everybody to know.
It's almost like you're naked.
Oh my gosh. You think so? I guess if you're telling somebody your personal finance, that's a big deal.
And what I mean by that is not physically naked, but
thank goodness,
financially naked, right? It's almost like you're exposed.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're sharing every aspect of your finances with everybody. And maybe some people are okay with that. I mean, maybe they're okay with that.
Right, but we don't want you to feel defeated. You know, you can go hang out with people that's loud budgeting, and you can get to the point to where you can almost like just feel sick because you don't feel like you fit in with that circle anymore, because either you make more money than they do or either you make less money than they do. And money should not be a determining factor as to who you associate with.
Correct.
It needs to be based on character.
Correct.
And reputation. You need to associate with your people that are going to make you better. People that are going to add to you.
Yes.
How we are getting money intertwined with this is somewhat baffling to me, because I don't want my associates or my friends to be based on money.
Yes.
It's just not good. And so this loud budgeting trend, I don't see how it can have a happy ending. It's just, I don't want people to feel defeated. I don't want you to feel defeated because your friend is making $10,000 or $15,000 more per year than you. Because really, you have to take it at what they say. Like, yes. You have to take it at what they say. And what if you believe in what they're saying and you're feeling bad because they're making more money than you?
Yes.
And it ain't even true.
Yes. And then it's almost like it's going to put pressure on you to feel like you got to go and make more money because somebody just told you that I made X amount of dollars, which may be more than you. Mm-hmm. And now you feel like, oh man, they make all this money and I only make this. Mm-hmm. What I'm going to do? I need to make more money. When in reality, what you're making may be okay with what you at the point you at in your life at that time. But when you hear they're making more money, it's like,
right. It's gonna stun you.
Yes.
And then if you have a financial goal to go out and buy a house, but you have to save a certain amount of money.
Yes.
You know, to put down on the house. And if you are going around and telling everybody your personal business about how much money you need to put down on the house and you're saving for the house, to me it's almost like a spiritual sabotage. Yes. Because sometimes people they'll smile in your face and they'll make you think that they're happy for you, but they're not happy for you. And we believe that life and death is in the power of the tongue.
Yes.
And if you start hanging around people trying to discourage you about saving money for the house, well, you only got one life to live. You don't need that type of person in your life. And loud budgeting, I don't care what nobody say, can lead to this. Mm-hmm. If you got a friend or associate in your life and you're loud budgeting, telling them how much money you got to put down on your house and when you're going to be buying the house, if you are spiritual, you understand that there's life and death in the power of the tongue. Mm-hmm. And if they start speaking negative to you about why you can't, why you shouldn't be putting this much money down on the house, oh, you only live once, oh, you want to go on a trip, you can get the house later. The house will always be here. I'm just telling you, loud budgeting can set you up for complete sabotage. It can have you sitting in the corner in the dark crying because you shared your financial business with the wrong person.
Oh, so true. So true. But, there's always a way you should handle your budgeting, right? So if you have a budget, right, and you set up on your financial journey, mm-hmm. One of the ways that you handle it is when you make small accomplishments, either big ones. Mm-hmm. You celebrate those, right? You celebrate those accomplishments so you can feel a sense of
gratitude. And a sense of accomplishment. Because you are budgeting based on your life, based on your income, and based on your goals. Not basing it on comparing yourself to your friends, because now you know how much money they make. And if y'all even make the same amount of money, they may be handling their money differently. They may be investing it. They may be spending it all so they can look like they got it going on when they don't. But you saving your money because you got goals. Then you're going to get into that comparison trap. So what we've shared with you on this show is, number one, loud budgeting can cause jealousy. We've explained how it can do that. Loud budgeting can cause stress. Loud budgeting can cause the comparison trap. Loud budgeting also can put you in a position to where you will lie about your budget, to either to say yes or either to say no. Now, are there any other components that we brought up?
It is.
Concerning loud budgeting?
Strife.
Right. Okay, and can you explain what strife is?
So strife is when you have, you're at odds. Conflict with somebody, right? Because, they just told you something and you may not even show it at the time, but inside of you, you have conflict going on because of what was just shared with you. So, loud budgeting, that's one of those things that fall in that criteria. That can cause inner conflict inside of you.
That you got to hide and feel uncomfortable because of the strife that it's causing within you. And that is not good either. And that's not healthy either. And then sometimes, like my last key point that I would like to make is, like, instead of you going out and enjoying yourself, for most women, our minds are like this. Boom, 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 boom. We are thinking and thinking and thinking all the time. And if you're hanging out and you're at dinner, you're really not going to be able to enjoy yourself because you're going to be focusing on, my gosh, I cannot believe she makes $90,000 and I only make $65,000 a year. It's going to interfere with how you enjoy your social functionings. And just remember, if you have someone that is pushing loud budgeting, they're supporting loud budgeting, take a step back and ask yourself, why are they so into loud budgeting? There's usually an agenda behind someone that's being pushy. So if you have a friend that's in your life, they're trying to encourage you to do loud budgeting, take a step back and ask yourself, what is in it for them? Why is it so important for them to loud budget? If you want a loud budget, that's fine. But don't try to put it on me. Because I'm not going to tell you. We're friends. I don't have to tell you that. Okay, so like we do have a spiritual aspect that we would like to end our video with.
Absolutely.
And you need to stay and listen to this because this is the meat of our show.
So, we try to make sure we end our shows with some type of spiritual aspect so everybody can understand where we're coming from, right? So Proverbs, just to our aspect tonight is Proverbs 13:3. Okay? So, and it says, whoever guards his mouth preserves his life. He who opens wide his lips comes to ruin. So,
I need you to break that down for the ones who don't understand what that means.
So, whoever guards his mouth preserves his life. So, in other words, when you guard what comes out of your lips, your mouth, you are saving a lot of heartache. You are saving a lot of grief
and embarrassment, comparison.
Yes, all of those things that you mentioned earlier, all those points that you mentioned earlier, that is guarding your mouth, and that's what it means by preserving your life. It's not only preserving your life, it's also preserving somebody else's life. Because when you're not sharing all of your personal financial business with everybody, because you're not sure who's going to take what, how they're going to take it when you start sharing. Some people might take it well. Some people may not take it well. And the people that don't take it well, it's going to be all kind of stuff inside of them. They may appear to be happy for you, right? Because you're sharing. But inside of them, it may be eating them up.
Angry, jealousy.
Yes.
All kind of emotions.
All kind of emotions going on inside of
right.
them. Because you chose to not hold fast to what is in your mouth, right?
Yeah, and so always remember, if you're an adult, you're paying your own bills, taking care of your own life. If you're single, you don't owe anybody an explanation. You really don't.
Yes.
Loud budgeting is a trend. We're not a part of loud budgeting. We are the money talk, and we talk about money all the time, but we are here to be inspirational to you. We are here to add to you and not take from you.
Encourage you.
Right. And so we are encouraging you to have dignity. And for us, part of having dignity is having some type of privacy in your life, having ownership for your own life, having ownership for your own budget. Do not put yourself under stress and under pressure. If you're a part of a friend circle that they are doing loud budgeting, if they're really your friends and if they really care about you, if you do not feel comfortable doing loud budgeting, just say, I don't want to participate. And if you feel uncomfortable going out with them, then just don't. What my husband has taught me is, if we don't stand for something, we will fall for anything.
Yes.
So don't just take loud budgeting at self-worth. You need to look at the big picture, and you need to look at the negative implications that come with loud budgeting. You have a right to privacy. Now, if you're married, that's off the table.
Yes.
But I don't call that loud budgeting. I call that being one.
Right.
Everything belongs to us.
Yes.
We don't have nothing to hide. He don't have nothing to prove to me financially. I don't have anything to prove to him financially. So if you are married and you have your marriage is Christian based, that's loud budgeting in a marriage. What is that? We've been doing that since day one.
Yeah, that's not loud budgeting. That's just you're one.
Right.
And you're supposed to be sharing that information. So there's nothing private about your finances when you're married.
Right. So just remember, you need friends that add to you. You don't need friends that take away from you. And based on the scripture that you gave us, a man who preserves his lips.
Yep, whoever guards his mouth preserves his life.
And so when you guard your mouth, that means you need to think before you speak. Because once you speak and put something out, guess what? That's one thing that you can't go back and get. So be mindful. Please be mindful of what you discuss.
And then the second part of that is, he who opens wide his lips comes to ruins.
Right, and you could really come to ruin. It just depends on who you're talking to. And when you share your information with your friend, who else are they going to share it with? Did you give them the right to go tell their mom that you make $95,000 a year? See, loud budgeting is not discussing that. When you share your budget and your finances and your paycheck, you are really giving them the right to tell whoever they want to tell.
Right.
Do you want everyone in their life to know your finances? So you got to think about that.
What if it's somebody you had a conflict with, and y'all not on the best of terms?
Do you really want them to know how much you're making? And guess what else we learned? I forgot to bring this up, but this is very important. During my research, I learned that loud budgeting is a security risk.
Oh, could you explain that?
Okay, if you are making a nice chunk of money, if you have a nice savings, you are sharing your personal business with your friend. Who is she friends with? Who is he friends with? You don't want to get robbed. You don't want to get mugged. I mean, if you watch the news, we shouldn't be watching a whole lot. People are doing some pretty crazy things out here. You don't really want people to know how much money you have, because you really are putting your life at danger. like, because I don't even remember the guy's name, but like how he made up this story that he was robbed by another culture because he was gay. The star that was on that TV show, he made up the whole story, I should say, to get attention. But how do you know that somebody won't try to do something to manipulate you to take your money? So if you do have large lump sums of money, I definitely encourage you to zip your lips. That is not a part of your loud budgeting because you don't know who your friends are friends with.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, children will rob a parent. I mean, they will. That's just it. So keep your personal finances exactly what they are.
Personal.
Thank you. And then I want to share with you, if you want to learn more about keeping your life private, sharing it only with people that you confide in and people that you trust, I encourage you to go to YouTube. I watched this video called Chosen One, 5 Things You Should Never Reveal to Anyone. This video was created by Gracefully Inspired.
Okay.
And I encourage you to watch this so that you can learn more about things that you should not share with others. So as you can tell, we are not for loud budgeting. Yes. If you are for loud budgeting, we've given you points as to why you should consider it and make sure that's the right decision for you.
Yes.
Right, for you.
For you.
You got anything else you would like to add?
No, I think this was a great discussion in reference to loud budgeting and some of the things that it could impact in your life.
Right. So So zip your lips to preserve your life. Make sure if you're sharing your budget, make sure you know who you're sharing it with. Mm-hmm. If you want it to be kept private, don't even ask for it to be kept private because once you tell somebody, it's no longer private. Yeah. Look, my grandmother taught me long times ago, if you want to keep a secret, the best way to keep it is to keep it to yourself. So until next time.
Yes.
Thank you so much for watching the Money Talk. Please like it, share it, and subscribe. And we will be here on next Thursday. Take care, God bless, and make sure you definitely consider not loud budgeting. Mm-hmm.